Hello there, I'm Shaun McLaren, and today I have a sweet modern zoo deck enabled by the Revolt mechanic. Um, yeah, Aether Revolt definitely gave some good tools for modern, and Revolt is one of the most powerful modern mechanics of recent history because of fetch lands being so easy to trigger Revolt. It's pretty much like the card just always has Revolt on your turn since it's so easy to get access to fetch lands. And Burning Tree Emissary was already kind of a fringe strategy that has appeared in Modern from time to time. And Hidden Herbalist, obviously not as good as Burning Tree Emissary, but one of the most powerful cards in conjunction with one another, because you're able to just cast Burning Tree Emissary, cast another Burning Tree Emissary, cast another Burning Tree Emissary, as many as you have. And so adding more copies of Burning Tree Emissary, which is basically what Hidden Herbalist functions as, really powers up this deck. Just casting a bunch of 2/2s on turn 2 is pretty good. What makes it broken is if you also have Reckless Bushwhacker to surge out, give them all haste, give them all +1/+0, and then swing at the face with all the Herbalists and Burning Tree Emissaries you played on turn 2. So that's obviously the ideal opener. The deck is obviously going to be a little swingy. Having hands with like 5 Burning Tree Emissaries are going to be great, whereas hands without them are going to be a little bit weaker. So some of the other Revolt cards are Narnam Renegade, which is going to be basically Curd Ape, but with Death Touch, a 2/3 Death Touch whenever you have a sack land. Pretty easy to enable. Then we have actual Curd Ape, actual Experiment 1, which is pretty good when you're casting multiple creatures on the same turn. You go turn 1 Experiment 1, turn 2 Herbalists into some other stuff, and easily have a 3/3 Experiment, if not larger. Then Wild in the Cattle, obviously great. Going to be running Sacred Foundry mostly to enable Wild in the Cattle. Devastating Summons, kind of a card I'm trying that could be good. A super all-in card, but it seems really appealing to go Devastating Summons into Reckless Bushwhacker, sacrifice 3 lands, and then give them +1/+0 in haste, or the elementals you're creating off the lands. Lightning Bolt's great, removal or face damage. Greenwell Liberator, another Revolt card I'm trying. 2 mana 4/3, not anything to scoff at. Also Flint Hoof Boar, another option, basically 2 mana 3/3 that can also sometimes have haste if you're a little mana flooded or in the late game. So one of the considerations would be like something like Voltaic Brawler over Greenwell Liberator, a 4/3 trample essentially, but Liberator is actually easier to cast off of Hidden Herbalist because Hidden Herbalist adds double green, so you can't actually cast your, say, a Reckless Bushwhacker without playing a Burning Tree Emissary afterwards, or a Manamorphose, which is why Manamorphose is in the deck. You can go Hidden Herbalist, then make some red mana. So kind of just enabler for Hidden Herbalists as Manamorphose. And then, of course, a Tarkus Command, since we're going to have tons of creatures on the board, and one of the best cards in the deck, and just for the strategy in general. So that's the main deck. This is kind of a newish strategy, so still room for improvement. The sideboard, of course, the same could be said. I basically just picked out some cards that seem good. Dismembers are going to be great against fatty Tarmogoyfs blocking your way, or fatty Eldrazi's blocking your way, and just we're willing to pay the life for an efficient removal spell. Ancient Grudges, obviously for affinity and lantern and whatnot, going to just be efficient removal against a portion of the field. Destructive Revelry, similarly, also hits enchantments and domes the opponent. Spellskite, mostly for like infect and boggles, but also reasonable against burn. And I like the idea of casting Spellskite off Burning Tree Emissary. Similarly, Thorn of Amethyst, I'm kind of drawn to casting them off of Herbalist or Burning Tree Emissary. Obviously great against Storm decks. Yeah, that's pretty much what that's there for. Grafdigger's Cage is going to get Reanimator decks, Abzan Company, Collected Company type decks, that sort of thing. Mutagenic Growths, just in case we want to pump up our guys in combat. Probably not the best of cards for the deck, but kind of a catch you off guard card. And then Thoughtseize, we have an Overgrown Tomb for it, just for a bit of disruption. So yeah, that's the deck. It's going to be fast, it's going to be fun, so let's play some games.